No. You are fine. You should be
Okay.
whoever you are. I know
I
you
am.
many moons, but you're just breathing. So what are we working on today, young lady?
So I would like to work on, and I think you were talking about this. I was gonna tell you, I guess like so finding my people, right? Because I finally launched. I've been wanting to launch my agency for like 2 years. I love the fact that, and I was thinking about this over the week, how with MLSP, even though my agency offers paid advertising, and we do have trainings with MLSP with that. But I was thinking about, as far as like, how we talk always about content, that when with MLSP, there's so many different marketing giveaways and stuff that I can really offer and even teach my audience from that perspective. One, of course, to build my list, and then to where I'm not necessarily talking so much about um, you know, what it is that I have per se, like how you do. Because I never know what you're selling, but I always know.
Nothing and everything all at the same time.
Exactly. Exactly. So I really want to work. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so what's the question or what do we want to do?
So I would like to work on, I guess, that part of like finding um really, I guess, finding my narrative, because that is one of the things I think for me, that's going to be the best way. Like you talk about your values and what you stand for, but finding my narrative, and then I can just preach about that all day, every day, because
You you just said the word, okay? Preach, okay? You get your message, you stand on a soapbox, you stand on the corner, and you preach. That's what content is, right? You preach.
yes, yes,
The pastor sets himself up. He's got Sunday. He's got his pulpit. He preaches, right? And
yes,
he shows up. Now, let me ask you a question, because doesn't he show up or she show up every Sunday? Whether it doesn't matter who comes. If
exactly.
five
Yes,
people show up, 500 people show up, they're going to show up
yes,
with a message to deliver. Every
yes,
and that's
yes,
all of the greats. That's what they're doing. They're showing up. And
yes,
a lot of people are like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to stand. I don't know where to go. So they spend a lot of time on that. And the reality is, okay, let's get down to it. Who do you want to help? Who are your
of
people?
my people are small business owners that are looking to scale their business.
Okay.
They're
Can you say that in a different set of words? Because scale their business is like a business terminology. Can you say that in another way?
I'm looking to help small business owners that are looking to.
Okay, stop, stop.
Okay.
Wait, first of all, do I have your permission to really dig in with you? Because you
Of
know
course, absolutely,
we're not
please.
looking to move into the present tense. Okay.
Okay, okay.
I help, and I'm not going to have you phrase it that way. I'm not getting you to make an I help statement like everybody does.
Right, right.
You're not looking to, because guess what? That means it moves another year in the future.
Mm,
It moves another year in the future. So I help small business owners who are ready to blank or something like that, because we want them in the present tense too, right?
yes, yes.
You know, my teacher always said, I'm looking for people that are looking for me. I'm looking for
Hmm.
people that are looking for me today. So if I'm not in today and I keep putting them in my mind not in today, everything keeps moving out there, right?
Yes,
I have
yes.
small business owners that are ready to, and the reason why I didn't want you to use scale is because it's such a overused term, or it's a
Mm,
business term. So I want it in your head, but I want it in your heart, that are looking to generate leads and get sales for their business, or
yes,
people who are in business but need more business. You know,
yes.
that
That
vibe.
that really is the vibe. That are in business but need more business, because that is literally where we are. We did double our sales last this year already than last year.
Class.
And yeah, I mean, or I'm sure we're more than that because we were at double in July.
That's huge. And the fall is usually a very good time
The
period. So
fall is high season.
you got a quarter now of like prime time. So
Yes,
you're going to do well.
exactly.
Do well.
Exactly.
So do you see the difference between I'm looking to versus
Yes.
I, or I do this? It's here and it's now.
It's here and it's now.
And
Yes.
you want the prospect that's here now because you watch a lot of people. They're looking to help nurses who eventually want to leave their jobs. Where is that? Right?
Right. When is
I
that?
do it someday, and they're going to do it someday. So we're someday, somewhere, So we're making no
Like
money for a
over the
long time,
rainbow.
right?
Exactly.
I help people who are at the position right now where they're ready for more, ready to handle more business. I help bring
Yes.
them
Yes. And help them get in that and help them be able to, because that is one thing that I found. And this is something that I know, like I said, I can preach all day, right? I could talk for weeks on it, is that if they don't have structure set up, which is something that is happening to us, right? We're like backtracking to set up the structure because so much business, right? That if
Mhm.
they don't have it set up, then they can have all the business they want, but they'll still go under because it's not set up.
So now my next question is, how often are you talking about that in public? How
So
often are you publishing content talking about the structure that is needed, talking about getting to the point where you can't handle the business that you have anymore, talking about we were using this method and all of a sudden everything shifted and we have no idea how to use the next method. All of these things that you can help people with. How often are you publishing things or advertising that causes people to know what you do?
yeah, not that often. I mean, I was a little bit, talking about it, but definitely not often enough. And this is definitely, I was like going into this like, okay, for sure that is what I can offer. Because I was just saying, like, well, what expertise, right? And not from a guru standpoint, but just from an experience standpoint. Like, this is my experience, and this is what I did, and so I can, help you do what I did. That's always my perspective.
The three pitfalls, the what to do when, all of these phrases are where the content comes from.
Yes, yes,
What
exactly.
happens
No,
when life stops working? Hi, it's Sabrina. And a lot of my clients were doing crazy amazing on Facebook. And then all of a sudden the wind blew and Facebook wasn't yielding the way it was for them. And they needed to learn a new way to get leads. If you're somebody in that position, like and follow, I have lots of information coming for you. That type of vibe. So I don't know exactly what it is that you do for folks, but it's that vibe of like I help home business owners that don't have any leverage. They're just working 24 hours a day around the clock and they started the business to be home and now they can never be home with their kids.
well, that is the content that I was actually on my soapbox talking about. I was like, you know, as a small business owner, as a solopreneur, tend to have to work on I should say, every part of your business because it's
Mhm.
just you or just you and another person. And that is exactly where I've been coming from, and I feel so like just free to kind of really preach because there's so many different angles to come from it and saying like, you need leverage. So we do actually give small business owners that leverage. We help to give them that by helping automate some of their, you got to have, the thing is, you got to already have some organic stuff going, right? You can't just be doing nothing. You have to have some organic marketing already going. You have to kind of, right?
You
You
know
have
why
to
I'm
know
smiling? You know why I'm smiling at you? Because
why.
once you get wound up, you sound like you're. I'm going to say a bad word. Don't tell anybody. You sound like your shit, right? Because you're like, you got to do this. I'm like, I know, Sabrina. The question is, are you going to tell somebody else?
Yeah, I have been this week though. I've really been on my soapbox because I said I was going to start on Monday And I started, and I was already writing all this. I had it like kind of going, and I'm like, yes, this is it. And then, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So let me ask you. So what's your challenge? Because you said you've doubled, and will expect to far exceed what you did last year. But far exceeding what you did last year isn't necessarily exceeding your goal. Where are you in relationship to what you want to do this year?
Actually, honestly, we are gonna exceed it. So we did like 130K last year.
Mhm.
And then we already did in July. And so our goal this year was 250. And we
Mhm.
are gonna exceed it. But since we already I have to rerun the number. I'm almost certain that we already actually exceeded it because we were already at in July at 100 and like 80. That
Yeah,
was July.
you're there.
So I mean we're definitely gonna hit the 250. Like that was our goal this year to hit 250. And so
Mhm.
now it's like, well, if we were gonna hit 250, well, we want to actually do let's
Yeah,
push it for 350, like because
for sure.
why
That's
not?
stuff. We absolutely, because you're going to do the same thing that you tell people to do to scale, right? To keep going.
Exactly.
Here's the
Yes,
question: you
yes.
already know your narrative. You already know it because once you start talking, you're like da 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 da. And you need to have this organic. You need to have this device. And then what you can do is you can take that and you can either add the leverage of more content or you can add advertising. I'm paraphrasing what you might say. You already
Yes,
know
yes.
who you want to help. You already know what you got to tell. So what's your challenge?
So I guess the challenge that I was having because I want to help more people and I started this was just me really now going into the different groups, the different areas of, the connecting with more people, even though we're doing a lot of stuff by like word of mouth. I want to leverage more people digitally,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I'm now like really going on my soapbox and, tapping into, like we talked about, the different platforms, TikTok and whatever. And so, on the go meet people, that's the part digitally because our outside brick and mortar wise, like, yeah, we're slamming that, so I think that was really all I was trying to now kind of, and it's not necessarily a challenge. I think more so because I already made today or yesterday met like 5 or 6 new people. So it's like I just want to make sure I'm meeting, at minimum 10 new people digitally a day at minimum, you know and so how to go about that a little better. And I know we have a lot of that information in our back office and our program. And so just really tapping into that. Like I do, I just love you. Okay, I know I say that because we're in a call, but I love you. And so that is what, how you walk the block. Like I wanted to go back and like, listen to walk the block, right? Because really just and start to engage in meeting more people to grow the connections,
Okay.
that
Let me ask you a couple questions. Who is the average, your normal customer? What kind of business do they have? I know
they
it varies.
have.
Do they have a brick and mortar? Are they online? Are they bizoppy people? Are they professionals? Who are they?
A lot of them are professionals. They have a brick and mortar. They haven't really went fully online. They have a little bit of presence, but not that
Right,
much.
that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
So the block, which for anybody who watches this, that's about making the rounds on the social media platforms. You have to be clear about who you want to be meeting because if you go out and meet a bunch of MLM BizOp types, that's not your client, right? That's not your.
Right.
If
Right.
you go out and you target, for example, businesses in a geographical area, you might pick Teaneck, New Jersey. I'm making that up. I don't know where you want to pick, and you go
Yes. Yes.
search. You can search on Instagram and other places all the videos that were made in Teaneck, New Jersey. And you also can search for all the businesses in Teaneck, New Jersey. So you can find all the chiropractors, all the holistic, medicine people, all the people that own a dance studio, all the accountants, all the insurance agents, etc. So
Oh.
if you're going to walk the block, if you're going to pick a platform or go around the platforms, you still got to make sure that you're meeting and connecting with the right people. And the very best people to meet with or to connect with are kingpins. Have you ever heard me talk about the kingpins?
A little bit, but it's like, let me hear. Let me.
In Teaneck, New Jersey, right? I'm picking a town, any town, doesn't matter where it is, Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Hmm.
There's the guy that like runs the chamber. There's a Main Street Foundation. There's somebody that runs that. There's somebody that runs a BNI, which is a business networking.
Yes,
There's some
I was.
the people
Oh,
that run that are better contacts than the guy who's the chiropractor, not because he's not a good contact, but because the people that run those things, those kingpins, can recommend you or edify you. And when they do, you get a lot more leverage. So
yes.
in this industry, um, I was just on, Ray Higdon was just announcing who's speaking at his event, and I'm on one of the panels. And so he went through all the speakers and he said some really great stuff about me. Okay. And I was mentioning on a training, I forget what it was, that I needed to go clip that recording before it was gone because he said such nice stuff. And Ben Newcomb went and did it for me. But the point is that if Ray Higdon says, you're so awesome and she's smart and she does this, this, and that, and here's why you should listen to her, it's much more valuable than Johnny New MLMer who heard a training and gushed over it. And it's not that the person is any less valuable, but when Ray says it, the whole industry is hearing my name. When the guy says it, the couple of people he knows are hearing my name. You see the difference.
Yes, yes,
So one
yes.
person's just more influential. When you get on social media, there's well, first of all, just take off social media. In towns, there are people that are very influential, like that real estate agent that's been there for 25 years, knows every gosh darn person in town, the chamber guy, whoever. And then on social media, in different spaces, there's people that are very influential. So let's say you decided you're going to target chiropractic. There's people who are influential amongst chiropractors. And your job is to locate who are the highest level people, the kingpins, and then who are all the followers or the people that are listening to the kingpin. And that's how I always locate people. It wouldn't matter what space I was in. I would always go locate the kingpins and then find all the people that are following them. Sometimes you can't get relationships with them very quickly because they're in demand, but you can always go after the people that are interested in listening. And that qualifies them because if somebody's listening to Ray Higdon, they're generally in the network marketing home business, right? Like people
Right.
motorcycles are not listening. There's no reason for them to listen.
Right.
Right? So if people are listening to the chiropractic marketing, like I know this one guy, he teaches hypnotists how to be marketers. Okay? The hypnotists are hypnotists. So this guy built a business. He is a hypnotist, but he built a business teaching hypnotists how to market their business. Guess what happens? They're running practice. They don't have time to do all this stuff. They're going to hire an agency. If he says, go to Sabrina and hypnotist people, them hiring me. You see that?
Right. Yes.
I don't know if you can manage your mic because there's a lot of background noise coming in.
Um, is that, let me
Calling in.
see. Is that better? Can you turn that off for me? Maybe, you know what? Maybe I should come back in on my phone because I think my computer is
Oh,
not
it might
so
be your
great.
Now it just got better. So whatever they turned off is much better. Sometimes the
Okay.
mic picking up something that sounds like to you, it sounds like it's all the way to the other
Mm,
end of the house, but it's echoing and bouncing in a certain way that's making it very loud.
mm.
So it's good.
Okay.
So
So
you
it's
see,
good now?
so I can go after hypnotists, but if I connect with that Jason guy and his followers, I'm guaranteed not only to find hypnotists, but hypnotists that want to build their business.
Right.
So if I
Right.
find the guy who is the king that teaches marketing to chiropractors, or there's Joe Polish, very famous guy. He taught marketing to carpet cleaners and became an info product billionaire. I don't know what he became because he was the king of carpet cleaners.
Mm.
So you see that. So whoever
Yes.
your people are, or your average type of person, you're looking for the most influential people, either geographically in business or on social media, the people that people follow. And
It's
that,
so funny that you yes, no, I mean, this is so, like, really kinda bringing it full circle for me too because, I was telling my husband that, before I met him a few years ago, I had started, like, doing the final expense industry, right? It's insurance.
mhm,
And I went to see Les Brown speak, and I went to some event, and it was this I met a lady there, and she was like, "Hey, I have a BNI group." And she said, "Why don't you come? Because we don't have anybody who does final expense." So the thing about
yeah,
those groups is like they don't repeat, right? The
right.
businesses.
One of each kind of
And
business. Yeah.
yeah, so I was thinking, I don't know if there's one in this particular area because it's very far from me. So I was gonna look
One
into
over
one.
There's one. If you have a medium sized city by you, you have one. You have one.
Yes, so the one that I'll check to see what's closest to me here because that one is like an hour away and I'm just not going to drive an hour every time.
Especially at
Um
7 o'clock in the morning or whenever they meet. They always have
yes,
breakfast.
because they're so early. Yeah, I mean I did it a couple of times, right? But then I didn't join because it was just too far,
Yeah.
to keep the commitment. But
Yeah.
that's totally what I was thinking. And I was even thinking of like maybe like kind of starting my own, right? Becoming a little celebrity in my town here.
Okay, I'll tell
Um,
you that. It's simple. You just go to meetup.com and it costs a little bit of money and start a meetup for whatever kind of people. If you do BNI, you got to pay a bunch of fees and stuff.
you
It's
do,
because
you
it's like a,
do.
like a yes, a national. It's actually an international organization. If you do meetup,
Oh,
expensive, and you can just say that it's a whatever kind of meetup, whatever kind of people. So like whenever I'm looking to go somewhere, or if I'm going to stay somewhere, or like I'm planning on moving, so I've been looking at what there is in the cities that I'm considering because I want to see, is there an active entrepreneurial community? Is there an active
mm,
this type of group? For sure, for sure. And you can, I mean, you certainly can run a BNI type of thing, but you also can do a meetup where you teach certain skills, and you do it for like $10 or you do it for free or something, and you let people come down and you meet like in the back room of a restaurant. Everybody buys dinner, so the restaurant lets you use the room because there's so many dinners, and everybody buys their own dinner, and then you do a class, and then you become very well known amongst those people. So that's,
yes.
and when I'm using social media, I'm always looking for who are the people that could catapult me forward. Who are the people that if they got to know me, or if I served them in some way, or they thought my services were good, they could catapult me forward, because that's pure leverage. And you think about MLSP alone. I met them. I wrote them a crazy letter to tell me to let me speak at their event, but I made good. I brought a lot of people to the event. I filled seats. I served them.
You're breaking up. Yeah, you sound like you're underwater. Okay, that's okay. I know. You're frozen too, even though I can hear you a little bit, but ah, you're frozen. Oh, are you moving because of your internet connection?
Yes, no, yeah, I am. I'm not getting it fixed because I'm leaving, and there's no sense in it. And they're like, "Oh, it's working fine," but it's 5G service, and so it's a cell service because my phone gets messed up though. It's the 5G. It's not the the modem or something.
Right, right, right,
Anyway, um, just talking about the people, and I said MLSP. Um, about it,
right,
I met them and I talked to them, letting me come and speak, and I serve them and all this other stuff. It's years later and tons of income from that later, but the income that I earned from the notoriety, the visibility, incredible amounts of visibility. I'm always looking for. I'm doing something right now, a project that I'm really not being paid much for, but the visibility is huge. And so the visibility is worth more than the money because out of it, I will get clients and customers and so on and so forth. So
right, right,
that when you're networking and when you're creating content, because the content does a lot, like I'll get people reaching out to me every day from videos and content and things I do. It's not like a landslide, I'm not getting bombarded. I don't want to get bombarded. I'm looking for the right people. So,
right,
and the people who are coming to me already know my vibe, already know my style, already know I'm straightforward. So they actually still want to talk to me, which means I didn't freak them out. They're serious, etc. Not that I freak people out, but different people want different vibes. A lot of people in this industry want lollipops and rainbows. In
they
your
do.
Oh yeah, they do. And in your space, they want sales and customers. And if you can't provide them to them, they're not happy. So in my space, a lot of people they don't want to do any work. They just want to hang out, watch the show, and it's so much fun to watch the show. So they don't want you to actually put them or actually, you know, you know, well, they just want to hang out. So different spaces. If I went to a doctor, I'd want to get better. If I went
Right,
to a plumber, I'd my pipes fixed. If I went to but this is the weird industry where people just want to make friends and hang out and sing kumbaya. Why? I don't know. But that's not who you're working with. So you have to be super
right.
cautious. It's very easy if you do a little research. It's very easy to tap almost any space and connect. I mean, you've known me for long enough. I got Gary V to come talk for my birthday party. I mean, think about it. Gary Vaynerchuk, with one of the biggest names in the world, I got him to come talk for my birthday party. That's
Wow.
crazy.
That's crazy.
I got him to make
That's
a promo
crazy.
video telling everybody to come hang out for Diane's birthday. I'm going to be there. I mean, you would think you couldn't do that. I did that.
Wow. But that's what I love about you. Like, that's why I was so excited just to be in the space. And things literally got insane because I also decided to take on, even though we run the business full time, I am doing an accounting position full
Mhm.
time in the daytime.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, and I'm running a whole department for a company. Um, and so it's insane, obviously. But it's a nice additional, you
Yeah.
know, 90 some grand a year, to add to what we're doing.
You can keep the job while you're building up the business. Because, you know, especially if somebody's watching, $250,000 sounds like a lot of money, but that's the revenue that comes in. It's not a lot of money. By
Right.
time paid expenses are
Pay
raised,
everything.
it's not a lot of money. You know, you really need to quadruple that revenue to get, kind of where you want to go.
Thank you.
So,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
if I were you, I would be doing a lot of content in the nooks and crannies of the day, and I would be talking from a fiscal standpoint. You know, a lot of people start a business, or they fantasize, or they think about starting a business. You know, as my profession is accounting, but I run an agency and I help small business owners. And what I find is a lot of them are not understanding what's involved and what type of revenue has to happen, or how to manage expenses, or how to. I would talk from that. I mean, I wouldn't talk like bean counting,
Yeah,
expenditures.
I was saying that. I'm telling you.
Well, you
I
can. I see accountants on social media, and there's one in particular. He's hysterically funny, but like if I lived in the area, I'd probably use him because he's and it's funny because when I went through my divorce and I was searching for a lawyer, I picked a lawyer because of good marketing. They had great marketing. They spoke right into the core and the pain, and I thought I was getting a woman and wasn't, because it was just really good marketing. This guy ended up liking him. But I remember saying to him, "You realize the reason why your firm was because your marketing was good." And he smiled. And he goes, "I know, right?" And I said, "You're really good." So could you talk about? You could go accounting wise and talk about, what is the new act, and what does forgiveness of student loans mean, or what is a Section 179, or what is a Schedule C, or you could go that route, or you could go with the route of, I'm a professional by day, I'm building my fortune by night, I'm building my
Yeah,
future
I
by
think
night.
that's the route for
I
me
think so.
because, like, yeah, because for one, I am not your average accountant. So that's like my hashtag now, right?
I
I'm
like
not your average accountant. And because I totally, like, in my mind, see myself like, I always say preaching on stage because for me, I'm always preaching something, but
yeah.
right? Because that is in my soul of souls, right? Like I listen to Lisa Nichols, I listen to Jim Rohn, my husband,
Lisa Nichols is fire,
she's oh
fire.
my God. And I listen to like the coloration of how she speaks and then I love Jim Rohn's, his sensibility and he's funny. I mean, I listen to him,
His
I'll be
intonation,
like,
timing. And let me tell you
yes,
something, I've seen him do some of those talks literally hundreds of times live, the same talk. They're exactly the same. And every single time, it's like the first time. It's like the first kiss every single time. And he tells the same joke, and it hits every single time. And it's crazy stuff. But see, I would be talking about that. I would say I went to school. I was a good girl, and I went to school and I became an accountant. The only problem is there's a fiery preacher inside. So what did I do? I started an agency so I could help business owners. I could take my fiscal background, but I can help them with their dream because I believe in dreams. And see, now you got that combo. I did what the good little girl should do, right? Okay, good. You're like, right. So though I did what the good little girl should do. And you know what? Quite frankly, right now I'm running both because I'm smart and I'm working a full-time job and I'm loving it and I'm serving my employer and I'm so thankful that they, that I have this opportunity with them, but I'm also creating this for my future. And then I'll, you can talk about creating this type of income and investing or what you guys want to do with it, how you want to keep increasing with that. But yeah, get up on that soapbox, get up in that pulpit, talk to people about that. Talk to people about, I'm this old and I realize that I have so many years that I can double time it. My mentor used to use a term. He said, you got to get in to get out, right? In other words, double, like if your body hurts because you don't move it, you have to move it so that it doesn't hurt anymore. So you got to get into more pain to get out of the pain, right? If you
Yes.
want to
Yes.
debt, you have to basically work two jobs. You have to do double. You got to get in and do more to get out. So if you start talking to people about, and I hate the term side hustle, although it's very popular, it sounds sleazy to me. I don't know why. I just
I
don't.
don't want to use that. I don't like it either.
It's not my word, but whatever the term you want to be, if you've been dreaming about starting a business, the time is now. And don't be, goofy and go quitting your job and decide you're going to get rich and all that stuff. Keep your job, do this on the weekends and in the evenings, like we're doing. You can either document or you can just preach about assets and about investments and setting yourself up, or you can talk about retiring on time, let alone early, because most people are not on track to retire early. Or even retire. You can, all of that stuff. You can be talking about facets of business, what you can do for people. So preaching and fire is important. Then there has to be something concrete because I'm a preacher, that, and a lot of people love to listen to me. That doesn't mean they buy from me.
Right.
I have to have something concrete to get them to buy or to offer them because people, if I started going live every single day, I promise you within a month, I'd have a whole crowd and they'd all sit around and go, I love when you talk as they buy from someone else.
Right. Right. Exactly.
There has to be a concrete thing that you're pushing them into with an actual sales process. So if you're somebody who has a business, or you're somebody who's looking at starting a business, or you have a business and you're just not getting enough action, or whatever it is, you got to kind of line it up. You got to line it up so that you're getting the right type of people. You have to speak right into their hopes, their fears, their desires, their terror, their dream, all of that stuff. What does a good preacher talk about? Their insecurities, making
Yes.
mama proud of them, all of that.
Oh my God, this is gold. But this is so, I mean, this is such a confirmation. It's just like when the prophet comes to prophesy, and it better be a confirmation because God already spoken to you.
And isn't that interesting? You say that because I just made a TikTok that said God doesn't give you money, he gives you ideas, right? He gives you
Yes.
the concept.
Yes, I saw it. I saw it.
You put it into play. So if I'm feeling this something, I'm getting a message, and then all of a sudden the books show up or the speakers show up and it starts showing up all around me, it is confirmation that I'm hearing correctly. Because sometimes we're hearing with our ego, not with our spirit. And
Right.
that's a whole nother thing, or the ego tells you have to accomplish and you have to conquer and you have to this, or the ego tells you you're not enough and you could never do it, whichever way it goes. But that confirmation, you have all of that. I've known that for years about you. And look at what you're doing with the agency. Now it's just a matter of speaking to your cause. Is the cause setting your business up right? Like you said in the beginning, to backtrack with people because they weren't set up in the first place. That's a great messaging. I run an agency and I help people with their businesses, but I'm also an accountant by trade. And what I find is a lot of people are just not set up to win. They're not, another line from my teacher, set up to receive. Like, I ask something and they don't even have a merchant account or they don't have a way to get money. and they're out there like planning their first info product and their course and their boot camp and their live event, and they don't even have a way to receive money.
Right. Yes. Oh my
Or,
gosh. This
or,
is
or in brick and mortar terms, how many times have you seen somebody, they set up they rent the storefront, or they rent the office and they paint it and they get office furniture and they're so excited and they're giddy and they're gone in 90 days because they didn't focus on getting customers first. They focused on decorating. Really common
yes.
with restaurants. You ever see restaurants? They come and they go. Come and they go. They
Yep.
put hundreds of thousands of dollars into that thing and then leave no plan for getting people in the door.
Yes.
And they think that
Yeah.
they're going to run a successful restaurant because their grandmother made good meatballs. It doesn't work that way. It's true, but it doesn't work
It's
that
true though. It's so
way.
true. It's true.
Weird location because they were cutting corners, you know, so they're in some weird location that nobody would go by or nobody would go to. They're, you know, they're not thinking about the customer experience. So all of
Definitely.
these messages, all of this stuff, you can't be Lisa Nichols until you have that story to go out and speak. I think you could be a phenomenal speaker, but you gotta do the thing. I mean, you already have a good story with what you've done with the agency, but then the question is, do I want to speak to the people that I'm going to help, or do I want to speak to people and become a professional speaker to just inspire them? It's different. You know, I mean, if you're looking to build the agency, all the messaging has to be about the mistakes that people make when they start a business and the mistakes that people make that get them stuck a year or 2 or 3 years in. Those things, or
Yes. Yes.
whatever else you could do for them. You know, how you can expand your business by using a new platform, or how you could expand your business by getting things done for you. Speaking into
Yes.
the idea
Yes.
that you're the person who runs the business. You know, the old e-myth, you know, you got to work on your business, not in your business, right? So that whole, you know, if you're a chiropractor, you need to be doing adjustments, not sitting in the.
No, you're right. You're right.
What
No,
kind of
definitely.
services? What kind of services do you provide to your clients?
We offer brand awareness campaigns. So it's not conversions, it's really brand awareness and then retargeting.
Okay.
So we set up 2 campaigns. That's like the basic, because it helps one, the get people just to see you, and then
Yep.
it retargets the people that saw you.
Yes. Which, so you need to, like, same thing. A lot of people don't understand what retargeting is. So you say, have you ever searched on the internet for a pair of shoes, and all of a sudden the pair of shoes was everywhere? It's
Yeah.
not the internet's creepy, you know, and haunting
Big
you,
brother.
because there's something unique called retargeting, and we can help you do that. So once somebody becomes aware of your business, we keep you at top of mind,
Yes.
explaining these things, you know, and why that works. Why right now the advertising world has changed, but retargeting still works, you know. Generating the leads may be harder. We're not going to tell them that, but like a lot of people in the advertising world complain about it. But if the people are aware of your business, it's very easy to stay in front of them. Um,
Yes.
you know, like
Exactly.
I do like postcard campaigns and things too, because I'm looking to hit them from different directions.
So that I do, so we there is a company, and I've been thinking about if the agency should like utilize them, because they do have a white label, where so it'll be a little cheaper, right, for me, so I can actually retail it. I can, so I was, I've been thinking about that, but it is a postcard campaign, but it's good because actually, you get the email addresses, and we do the same thing again, just retarget them, back in front of them.
I have
Yeah.
one resource. I don't know who you're looking at. We won't do it on this, but if you want me to
Okay.
tell you what that resource is, it's I like to use different touches. And
Yes.
it's the same thing. The postcards with them, they're free. You just pay the postage because you're paying a monthly
Mm.
amount
Yeah,
to
well,
have.
definitely. I'll hit you up after your next thing. I'll for
Yeah.
sure.
But it's just, and I tend to be lazy about it. And then all of a sudden I'll start again because I just get on tangents. And then I start sending postcards and everybody's on, on Facebook, because they're fun. Because I always do funny things because they're about me. So I do whack of crazy pictures and stuff. But there's so many different things. And I've said that for years. Just, there's so many different ways to use this type of media. But you have to educate people that you have resources available. So I would first focus on, because I'm rambling, I'm getting off, I'm getting so passionate with you because I love, you get fired up. But then the first thing I would do is get really clear on what kind of businesses you want. Then I get really clear on, are there kingpins that I can focus on most, because that gives me more bang for my buck. Because the kingpins can recommend me to any of their followers. If I can't get at the kingpin, I'm going to notice who's liking all their content.
Mm-hmm.
Because those people are your market, right?
Definitely.
The kingpin could be your market, but the kingpin is more likely to tell people about you. And that's the value of that person. The market is the market. People with a business that does this much in volume, people with these types of businesses, etc. If you're looking geographically, great. If not, great. And then I want my media on whatever platforms I choose. If you're going to walk the block, I want to get a message. What am I talking about? Am I talking about things in agency? I'm going to find for you, and if I don't do it soon, remind me. Get off on a tangent. I happened to come across a girl on TikTok, and there's a lot of virtual assistants, but this girl is like a business manager, and she runs everything for a business. And her marketing is quite good because her messaging, she's always explaining the difference. She's always explaining what she can do for you. And I think if you look at her, she doesn't have the biggest following. She doesn't have the most people, but she constantly has people asking her questions about her service, which is what you want. So she would be worth modeling because it's the same thing. You're explaining your services. You're talking about, you already have a database of customers, but you're not doing anything to keep yourself in front of them so they buy again and again. So that's one of those things I watch people all the time. They have a whole database and they're not utilized. There's tons of businesses that are not collecting any data. You could describe what is, first party data, third party data, zero party data, and why owning your own data in this decade is very important. You can say it differently, your customer base, whatever, but most small businesses are not controlling their data at all.
It's so true.
And if they realized how much more money they could bring in if they were in fact retargeting, if they were in fact using now, if they were in fact doing some of these different things. And what's interesting? So the one company that I use, and Joe will kill me for saying this, but I'm sorry, Joe, I'm a marketer. Joe's the owner. You certainly can sell memberships to all the people, right? To send out postcards or whatever. And then they do greeting cards and corporate gifts and stuff. But and there's no branding on this. So you create your own branding. So it's blind. Like, it's not like there are other companies that they have their brand all over the stuff, which I would use. But here's what's cool. The postcards, if you're this executive member, the postcards are free. It's just the postage, right? So you can get a client and you could get them to buy one of these memberships and you can make a couple dollars, which is cool. Or you could do the mailing for the client, charge them the postage and your fee on top of it. Follow that?
Yep.
So it's just, you can make a couple dollars on the affiliate referral, which is cool. And I don't want to hurt my friend because they'll probably ask eventually. But the first way you're going to do a mailing of 500 or a mailing of 1,000 or something, charge them up front for what the postage would be, and then charge them a fee for the design and the plan. And now you're targeting, their existing clientele or the clientele that they're starting to develop on Facebook.
Yes, that is gold.
It is
gold.
Because let's say
it is.
a postcard's like 50 cents. I can't believe how much mail has gone up. It's mind boggling. I used to use mail extensively, but it's gotten expensive. I used to mail boxes of stuff and all kinds of stuff. Um, but if it's 50 cents, let's say it's 50 cents, 1,000 postcards is $500, right? For the postage. But then you're
Right.
charging $500 for the design and $500 for this. So you could charge the person $1,500, $2,000
Right.
for that.
Wow.
Or you can design them a sequence, and put the people into a sequence where they're getting a postcard every month or every 2 weeks or something like that.
Mm.
And because it's their own data, you also can buy lists out of there. But because it's their own data, it's just constantly tumbling those people around, especially if it's like a cleaning service or um, any local business, because they're all
Right.
spending all this money to mail stuff to blind people, to occupant. I get stuff like, I live in a townhouse. There's a condo association and all that stuff. I get mail every day about siding and roofing. I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
tenant, and they paid to mail to me.
Yes. Yes. I do. Me too. I live in a townhouse community, and we get, all kind of, stuff.
Do
Try
your
this.
basement and yada yada yada, and none of
Mm-hmm.
it is relevant to where I live and the type of housing I live in. Yet they paid so much to be in all those mailboxes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. For sure. For sure. No, definitely. So, okay. So the TikTok lady for sure. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
I'll find her. I don't know her name, so I have to wait for her to come up in my feed. But she absolutely caught my attention because a lot of people are like, I'm a VA or I'm an agency or I do this. There's a million of them, but this woman differentiated herself. There's lots of
And
people
that's
that
what,
can do tasks. There's not many people that can do this for you. So in your case, it might be there's lots of people that can run an ad for you, and they'll charge you, like crazy. But there's not that many people that understand how to take your base and multiply the profits from it. So
right,
that sounds really.
right, right. And how to help you understand your profit,
Mhm.
and where it's coming from, how you can, increase it. Cause that for me, obviously for me, I can speak to it all day, what that looks like and how it sounds. But, yes, definitely. So I mean, this is golden. This is what I say. I'm just gonna, focus on just repurpose. And I've already been talking about it. I've been talking about, that leverage, creating leverage for your business, what that looks like. You already do have to have a plan, but we can help you with a plan, if you need it as as an extra service. Most people get a business plan, but they forget the marketing plan, right? Like you said, they do all the design.
Constant. It's constant. They have a business
Constant.
plan, a marketing plan. If without customers, you don't have a business.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's like my message, my messaging, for sure, to discuss that.
I
And
would
then
say
outside,
accountant turned marketing nerd, accountant turned marketing freak. Accountant turned marketing addict. I grew up and went to school and became a proper accountant, and I love accounting. But I got exposed to marketing and I fell in love. And so, what better way to use both of my backgrounds and to help small businesses really understand the flow of their money and how to expand their business? It's very appealing.
that really is what happened. I took my first marketing class. I was like, what is this? And after that, my professor, it was like, oh my gosh, oh, this is marketing. Like, oh, I'm getting it. I understand it. And so for sure, that really is like what happened. I just kind of got like, in there. And then, yeah, we definitely do have, services that we can provide. And it's a specialty for me too, because I'm a licensed insurance broker, that I can really show them, where they can put their profits, that it can gain interest for them.
You have all this background, and that's what I mean. I want you to be like sassy and fun like you are, but I also want you to get down and dirty and go look.
Okay.
So you want to make all this money. That's great. What next? What do you do with it then? Where do you go?
Right.
Or you start the business and it's great, but now you're like at this threshold that you're stuck. You don't know how to increase it. You don't know how to take it to the next level. Hi, my name is, Bree, and I'm an accountant by day and a home business or a small business advisor by night. I help you take your business to the next level, right?
Yes.
And that covers
Yes.
why are you still working a full-time job? If somebody were to say to that to you, why are you still working as an accountant then? Honey, what do you think? I'm crazy? I got benefits. I'm making a boatload of money and I'm setting myself up for my future to be free. Why would I give that up? And you drop it. Don't ever take that from anybody.
Yeah,
Anything
for
like
sure.
that. I don't
Yeah, because that was a
may
decision.
not
Because for
for media,
sure.
it will people will say stupid stuff to you. So be prepared, It's the truth.
Yeah,
You love marketing. I would, like I would do some fun videos too, like transitions, like the accountant in me and put on a suit, the marketer in me and be like decked out, looking all sexy and pretty,
right.
something
Purple
like that.
hair.
Something, yeah, the accountant in me, the marketer in me, and stuff like
Right.
that. It's fun,
Yes,
just
yes, the glasses. This is the accountant.
yeah, yeah. Or yes, mom, I still love accounting. I'm so glad you encouraged me to go to college and get an job. And then the minute mom walks out, or whoever walks out, you like whip off your glasses and you're in a different outfit. It could even be sweats. On my marketing projects. There's a lot of things that you can do that will attract people to you that are expressing your expertise and your personality. And I think you have both sides, and that's why I like these ideas of these little transition videos, because you do have all this expertise, but you do have all the passion and personality.
Definitely. And my husband is such a good production artist. I told him. So now I have him do some work. I'm like, this is what I want to do. Put me a skit together.
There you go. Say like, hey, I don't know if you're going by Sabrina or Bree or whatever you're going, but you can say, hey, it's Bree, and today I'm coming to you as my accountant side. I just finished up with somebody and looking over their finances. They're just absolutely a mess. The one thing you absolutely want, I'm making this up because I deal with home business owners, but the one thing you absolutely want to do is keep your personal finances and your business finances separate. Whatever it is. Like I tend to work with people, they don't know that. You're working with real businesses, so it might be something else. It might be about keeping
Believe it
your
or not,
receipts.
even they still don't do it. It's so messy. I work in a multi-million-dollar business, and one of the guy who sold the company to the corporate company still has his personal stuff flowing through. It's like it's crazy. Believe it or not, it's
So,
still
like, hi, today it's marketing break. Let me tell you something really cool you could do to make more sales. So you could be like split personality. You could be Sybil. You could. I mean, there's so much fun with that if you think about
yes, I love it. I
it.
love it. This is great.
Bree, I'm here to tell you that blah 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 blah. It's marketing, Bree. It's time to have some fun on social media. It's there's so many different things you can do. But I have to go because it's 7 o'clock. I'm supposed to be on another session.
Yeah.
You
Oh shoot.
delightful. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You are delightful. I will. When I see that woman, I will grab her, the woman on TikTok, and later on, I'll send you info about the postcard thing if it holds
Okay.
any interest. But there's different ways to use it.
Perfect.
It's pretty cool. Okay.
Thank you so much. This was amazing.
I love spending time with you. You know I do. So it's good to see you. And
You
you
too.
keep going and keep doing your thing because I'm very excited for you. It's just it's exciting to watch you hitting your mark and going over. And I really think that you're going to be able to take this all the way down the road and be able to, when you're ready, be able to just do that full time or whatever you want. Whatever.
Definitely. I feel it. I know it. I know it already. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm ready.
Do not hold your passion back. Start running your mouth, even if it's like a dumb podcast, like it's not a fancy podcast or something. Get that passion out there because it it it'll feed you. It'll keep you in the game. It'll feed you because when you know that you've impacted someone, it makes a difference.
I am doing it. My 5 minutes to fortune. It's outside of everything. I do it every day.
There you go.
5 minutes to fortune.
There you go. That's it. All right, my beautiful. I'm gonna run. I will see you later. Have a great night.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
All right. Bye.